This morning we're going to start with our, let's take a deep cleansing breath first, just to settle. Good. So we're going to start with our Soul Center Declaration. Please turn to your program, page 2. It has your, at the top is Soul Center Declaration. We'll all speak it together. There is one life, and that life is God. That life is perfect, and that life is my life now. I am here to receive the divine message for me. I am awake, I am tapped in, and I am transformed. That is great. So we want to give a big round of applause for our own Soul Center musicians, Jesse Godoy and Ryan Sher.
So if you are here, we have the patio for those that want some fresh air and prefer sitting outside. Let me go forward to share events and classes. We have an upcoming In Gratitude meditation event on November 25th from 10 to 11 a.m. Pacific. This meditation focuses on the vibration of appreciation as a gateway to enhance our twos, that is, plenitude, fortitude, aptitude, magnitude, and of course, gratitude. Join in as we enjoy a guided rejuvenation meditation using the vibration of Thanksgiving to heal and grow. This gathering will take place online via Zoom. Info and registration at soulcenteroc.com. Reverend Keith's Daily Affirmative Prayer, which is amazing, streams live on Soul Center's Facebook page, 9:30 a.m. Pacific daily, except Sundays. Link is on our newsletter or on soulcenteroc.com. I do it daily, and it just sets my day in a beautiful way.
And you can do Zoom as well.
Yes. A Course in Miracles with Akita Beckwith is on Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific. Join anytime throughout the year. Details on soulcenteroc.com. Munch and Mingle, monthly social. Join us today. It's the last Sundays monthly to munch and mingle at nearby restaurants. Today we're doing Zob's in Newport. Feel free to come to me to ask, or anybody else here, to ask for the address. But again, Zob's in Newport. SIVA, the art of serving others through our hearts. Soul Center has, for years now, been participating with this group called Gobble Gobble Give. We meet on Thanksgiving morning, and you can bring whatever food you want, bring clothes. If you don't have any of that, show up anyway, and you will be put in an assembly line to assemble the food boxes. You could either be assigned to drive them to the homeless where the homeless are. They don't come to us. So it's a really awesome opportunity for all of us to join Soul Center and do it as a group. Don't miss out on these and other awesome Soul Center events by signing up for our weekly newsletter. Our prayer chaplains wearing blue prayer shawls are here and online, holding a special sacred place for all of us. If you'd like prayer, come out to the patio, and it's really a blessed Thanksgiving to give to yourself. I highly recommend it. Soul Circles, please join any one of our Soul Circles at any time by reaching out to Soul Center, or what is it?
Soul Centers OC?
Soul Circles OC, thank you.
Circles OC.
And some people meet on Zoom either twice a month or once a month at different times, so it's really a great way to connect with the rest of the community. Tithing, a heartfelt thank you for contributing to Soul Center's success through your monetary gifts. After the bills, we're saving for our gorgeous permanent location, which I just cannot wait for, which hopefully will be soon. It's tax deductible, and you could tithe by visiting our soulcenteroc.com or Venmo to @soulcenter or send a check. And also Amazon donates 5% to 0.5% to a charity of your choice through its Smile program, and
Yeah, whatever your purchase is, it doesn't cost you an extra 0.5%.
yes, and it does add up. I'm proof. A little bit too much shopping there. And now let's join our band for Soul Center's congregation song.
We're doing Pour Yourself in Me. It's easy and it's fun. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour your love. Pour your love in me. Pour your love into my heart. Oh, wonderful, wonderful Spirit. Pour your joy. Pour your joy in me. Pour your joy into my heart. Oh, wonderful. Sing your song. Sing your song with me. Sing your song into my heart. Yeah. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Oh, wonderful. One more time. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Ooh, you sound so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, that was so beautiful. Good morning, my name is Andrea LeClaire. Our reading is from The Pathway of Roses by Christian Larson. When life is established in the spiritual state, the physical ceases to be materialistic, and the physical ceases to be a troubling sea of conflicted emotions. Instead, the physical becomes an orderly expression of the pure, wholesome life of the soul, and becomes a world of the richest thought, the most sublime feeling, and the highest mental enjoyment. The spiritual state of being is the true foundation of being, because the spiritual alone has the necessary qualities. To establish life upon any other state, or upon any other plane, is to act contrary to the true order of things, and trouble must necessarily follow. There is only one place for us to live, and that is in the soul. When we try to live elsewhere in mind or body, we separate ourselves from the great inheritance and do not receive what we have the rightful privilege to receive. When there seems to be nothing in life, the fault lies with the individual, not with the laws of our being. Instead of living in spirit, where we could receive everything, we have gone to live in the emptiness of material, where there is nothing to be had but the undesirable consequences of wrongdoing, and wrongdoing is the direct result of wronggoing, going away from the true state of being. To live in the spiritual state is to give expression to everything that is in the spirit, because where we actually live, we bring out into tangible existence, and the spirit contains everything that may be required to perfect the whole of existence, physical, mental, and spiritual blessings. Let us turn to them and pray. Oh, so grateful for what has already been established here this morning, the gorgeous, lovely music and the community, all of it, absolutely all of it. And knowing right here, right now, together, we create a field of unifying loving kindness, of sweetness, of the wonderful, wonderful presence of God. It's what we're truly made of. We can be nowhere but in God, nowhere but in the presence, nowhere but in the holy light. And so we simply release the brakes, allow and let it be. Knowing today is a beautiful, glorious day where Reverend Keith, of course, is always prepared, completely prepared with his message, his wit, his wisdom, the fun way that he shares that touches us all deeply in his unique way to our unique way. We create, again, this wonderful field that continues to grow and glow. Support us in our daily endeavors and beyond. In all life, all matter, and all spaces in between, we simply glow. So grateful to know this for me and for all of us. So grateful to feel it, thankful for it all, and so it is, amen.
And so it is, amen.
Alrighty, now is the time for our agape affirmations. You'll find them in your program and coming up on the screen. I'll speak a line, and then we'll all repeat them together aloud with sincerity and acceptance. Please rise. I am available to the loving presence of pure spirit.
I am available to the loving presence of pure spirit.
I am a joyful, willing instrument for God to reveal itself.
I am a joyful, willing instrument for God to reveal itself.
All of my needs are met in time, on time, and every time.
All my needs are met in time, on time, and every time.
God got me right from the beginning.
God got me right from the beginning.
Gratefully, I anchor the fundamental harmony of the universe on earth.
Gratefully, I anchor the fundamental harmony of the universe on earth.
This is truth as my life now.
This is truth as my life now.
And so it is, amen.
So it is, amen.
You may be seated.
So good. Wow, I tell you, God's something else. The synchronicities, that reading, I wrote this song like years ago, and that reading says it all. Wanted peace, didn't know where to find it. Was closer than my breath, but my eyes were blinded. Trouble seemed mounted up, my love and I had parted separate ways, me and God. I felt so alone, darkness filled my days. Oh, the voice said, watch where you place your attention. Love is everywhere, east and west.
We just are so grateful. Grateful for our house band, grateful for Jack Simone, and grateful for you, the Morning Center. Welcome to where we come to play and pray, because we remember that playing and praying are on the same vibrational frequency. They indeed, that is joy. Joy is the very natural frequency of the divine, even if we're not feeling it. Welcome, those of you streaming in online, welcome to you too. I'm Reverend Keith. This is our Soul Center Sunday service, where we move into the Behoove groove, which means we are seeking and finding good, seeking and finding joy, seeking and finding wellness, seeking and finding our blessings. Remembering that blessings are the very nature of life. Life is just blessing after blessing after blessing. We're talking, of course, about capital L life. Capital L life is not the same as lowercase l life, the temporal version. Sometimes in the human experience we get mired down, we stub our toe. We get experiences that don't feel real good, maybe even have an experience of separation that could be called depression or anxiety or things of that nature. Those things happen in the temporal world. Our community is based on a history and ancestry of the forefathers and foremothers of the New Thought, Ageless Wisdom teachings that studied the law of transmutation, that studied the law of creation, that studied the laws that govern the universe and recognized there is one thing that every law that governs the universe shares, and that every one of them is geared toward bringing blessings. Every one of them is geared at continuing to express and expand harmony and peace and joy. That is the nature. Capital L life undergirds the human experience, and no matter what you're going through, you are being called every moment of every day to rise in to who you really are, to shed the skin of what you think you are. You think you're a man or a woman, you think you're a race or a nationality, you think you're an age, you think that you are some traits or habits, or maybe even a diagnosis, but you're not. I'm going to have to break the news to you, that is simply not true. There's a divine spark within you that has never experienced pain, struggle, strife, or suffering. It doesn't even know what that is. It can't. Our forefathers and mothers of our movement studied so profoundly to find out, how does this universe work? How do miracles, that which humans would call miracles, express themselves? Is there a formula? Is there a secret? Is there a science? And yes, there is. It's called surrender. Surrender and live in communion with the presence of the divine on a regular basis. So as we continue, we're closing out the month. And remembering that this month has been all about beholding what's beyond the temporal world, beyond any trauma in your emotional body. There is something wonderful. All roads lead to God, no matter what. If I'm having the worst day in the world, that can take me to the divine. If I'm having the best day in the world, that can take me to the divine. But there is something within you, a discernment that has to choose to finesse your blessings. That's the topic for today, finessing your blessings. You gotta finesse this life. You don't just sit there like a wallflower on the sidelines and let the world just take you and bobble you and bop you around. That is a sure recipe for whiplash. You do not want to get whiplash. You want to make sure that you allow yourself to choose your good. Now, remembering that I have no less than 6 times experienced a dark night of the soul. A dark night of the soul is when you are separating yourself from the divine. You're getting distracted. Now, a dark night typically means it usually encompasses a deep depression, a loneliness that feels very separate. I will start to withdraw in my experience and in the experience overall in general. You start to withdraw. In my experience, you didn't want to share of anything of what you were feeling with anybody because perhaps you're too embarrassed, or perhaps it's just so hopeless that you don't even think there's any point. Why even bother? Nothing's going to get better. And so that despair and that sadness can take you into very dark places. And it is separation from God. It's separation from life force. You can also go to the other end of that spectrum where you can get so enamored enamored with temporal pleasures, that you always want to go out and play. You might want to go out and you might want to, overdo the margaritas. You might want to overdo the party. You might want to overdo and dabble in some of those other things that are now legal that just you might want to do some of that stuff and go like, oh, but it brings me pleasure. And we want to find that sweet space. There's no greater high than the high of the divine. I know I'm one of those people that I used to make fun of when I was younger, like, oh yeah, sure. High on life, whatever. And it is true. If you allow yourself to dig deep, there's no greater high, no side effects either, no hangovers, no numbness, and no forgetfulness. It just keeps growing and gets you brighter and lighter. So we want to find out. By finessing our blessings, that means we're going to really tap into and remember, you are wired. You are wired in your bones and in your spiritual DNA. It is wired that you are able to receive blessings. It is wired and coded in your DNA, in your genes and your tissues, that you are to give blessings. And it is wired and coded in your DNA that you are to expand blessings. Glory to greater glory is the expansion of good. Most people are living at a very mediocre experience of their good. Not us, not here. We're going to continue to expand. Our community is not about status quo. Our community is based on the premise that we continue to grow and expand our good. Now, when you become used to a trait or a habit, or perhaps even a way of being that is not congruent with the divine, it will go into your blind spot. You won't even know that you're doing it. Have you ever met anybody I remember I met somebody they spent so much time being angry that they didn't know when they were angry. And there's somebody would come and go, oh, but you seem like you're a little upset. I'm not upset! I don't know, maybe you are. Now, that's a little bit of an extreme example, but there are a lot of people that hold particular temporal frequencies. Temporal frequencies, those are the illusionary world. They hold to a little bit of anger, they hold to a little bit of sadness, they hold to a little bit of depression, and the biggest one of all is fear. It all stems from fear. The only reason you would hold any of those energies is because you're afraid something's going to happen. You've tricked yourselves, or we've tricked ourselves, into having defense mechanisms based from fear that are going to protect ourselves so that we won't get hurt, all the while we're just hurting ourselves. And like it said, I can't remember where I was in the reading or the psalm, unforgiveness. Unforgiveness is one of those things that we think will protect us. And unforgiveness is one of those things that is very damaging. It is damaging literally to your cells, to your genes, to your DNA. We want to allow forgiveness for everything and anything all the time. We want to make sure that we are keenly and acutely aware that there might even be unforgiveness. And all of this comes at a price of becoming aware of the divine, which that price is a really good price. You get a lot of bang. You don't get a bigger bang for your buck than communing with the divine, knowing God. You will get the best returns. It is the best investment. It's a sure deal. You gotta finesse it. You gotta work it. You gotta work in the system. You gotta work the divine. You gotta work God, or maybe more accurately, let God work you through you, or maybe more accurately, let you work you. Because we're talking about your higher self, not your personality, not the labels or the traits. You are allowing yourself to become keenly aware. So part of finessing your blessing, I'm going to tell you a story. It's a little bit, I don't know, maybe some people will be like, oh, this seems perfectly normal. And then other people will be like, oh, that seems ridiculous. But wherever you are, I'm going to invite you though, well, just hear it. You can judge for yourself. So years ago, about 10, 12 years ago, for some odd reason, for those of you who know, for the past 21 years, I've been working in the world of spirituality, of prayer, and divine energy medicine, and working with being there for other people, seeing people one-on-one and in classes and in groups. And somehow this one woman, she came to me from an Eastern European country that I won't identify. Anyway, but there was, in this particular region, there was a lot of idea that you could be cursed, or somebody could put a hex on you. And so, and it was very much a large populace of this region thought that this could happen. And so this woman, I don't know how she found me, but she found me and she goes, I know you can take a hex off me, you can take a curse off me, right? And I was like, okay. I mean, that's your language. My language is, we're going to get you back to an empowered state of being where you know there's no such thing as a hex. You know there's no such thing as a curse. But anyway, what had happened was that she had started dating the ex-husband of this other woman who was a sorceress. That's their words, not my words. A sorceress of sorts. And when the woman found out that this other woman was dating her ex-husband, now you would think that should be clean, their ex is like, no problem. But the first wife did not take kindly to the divorce and did not take kindly to them not being together anymore, and she was going to voodoo, and she was going to hex anybody because she was going to reel him back. And all of a sudden, this woman was like, oh, but all of a sudden this started happening, like right after the hex. All of a sudden these things started happening. She got a rash, she had a car accident, all these things, and she was convinced it's all happening because of the hex and the curse. Remove the curse, remove the curse. All right, we're going to remove the curse by getting you to understand who you truly are. So we started to do the work. Now, we're going to pin that. We're going to put that over here. Hex curse. Now we're going to come over to just about a week or so ago. I happened to be waiting at a restaurant for a to-go order that I placed, and I was sitting outside, and there was a woman who was parked in part of the restaurant parking, even though she wasn't going to the restaurant, using the restaurant, she was waiting for something else that was taking quite a while. And a gentleman who actually worked at the restaurant pulled in and said, are you here for this? Oh, no. And he goes, oh, this parking is just for this. And then she got all bent out of shape, and she started yelling at him, and he was staying kind of calm and cool, and just said, hey, just want you to know, because this belongs to this business, and they need that. And so, anyway, it turned into this. I was watching it all kind of from afar. Then, because I had to wait a little bit longer, she ended up, he went in. She said, okay, and she was all angry, and she drove off, seemingly. Then he went in, and then she pulled right back. And then all of a sudden I heard her and her friend in the car, and they were going on and on and on about how mean he was and how awful he was, and can you believe how rude he was, and And then eventually they finished all their complaining and they drove off. And then the man came out because they noticed the car, and he was like, I guess he was going to call the tow company or whatever, but then he ended up calling a friend, and he started, you won't believe what just happened, and blah, 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 and going on and on and on and on and on. Neither one of them knew that they were both in victimization mode. Now, you might say that the gentleman who came out and was, because so they don't know that I'm watching from over here and I'm seeing the whole thing unfold. Right. And he was kind, and he was trying to be polite, but what he didn't understand, and he did get a little, after they got bent out of shape, that's when he got a little bent out of shape. What he didn't realize is that just right, and this happens from time to time. You can be the nicest, sweetest person, you can come over to somebody, you can say something, and if they have issues that make them feel less than, unworthy, whatever, you might inadvertently push on a button. Now, I could tell that part of her reaction was that she knew she was wrong, and she felt guilty and wrong, and from whatever history of feeling guilty and wrong and bad previous in life, came out to no, I won't be guilty, I won't be wrong, I won't be bad, is where that was coming from. But he didn't know that she had issues that traced back to wherever they traced back to, so then he got a little feisty, and they were playing, paddleball with that angry energy. Now, what I was able to do was the thing is, in her world, it was imagined. In his world, it was real. In our world, it doesn't matter if it's real or imagined. Because if somebody is hurt, they're hurt. no matter whether it's real or imagined. The prayer is still the same, even if they're like seeming cuckoo about it. Even if it doesn't seem justified, the prayer is still the same because she still felt diminished. She still felt, even though it necessarily didn't pertain to that situation. So I got to, on the sidelines, I get to hold the same place for her, which is to feel powered and to feel seen and loved and heard and adored, and to feel that she is a divine emanation of God, just like I felt for him, because he felt taken advantage of. What could come from that was, what does it pay to be good? You're going to get stompled on anyway. And we don't want that idea to start to develop, and we don't want any of that to happen. So you hold a space. Now, when you're in it, sometimes that's a little harder to do. And that is why you'll often hear me say, just about every week, when you come home and you're reflecting over your day, that's when you clean it up. And that's when you commune with Spirit and you own whatever it is and you cleanse it. You don't need to be right in the sense of I'm right from a factual perspective. You need to be right in the divine. Right in the divine means that you're going to allow yourself to hold a space regardless of what's going on. We might be looking out into the world today and see what's going on in Russia, Ukraine, Taiwan, and China, wherever in the Middle East. We might be seeing something, and we may think that, I know that they're right and they're wrong. No, what we're holding is that right where they are, God is, peace is, love is, harmony is, and we are calling upon that. And that is what, when the Transcendental Meditation folks years ago, we're probably going about 15, 20 years ago, when they did a study and they had people holding a vigil in meditation for peace around the world, there was a huge decline. Wars that had been very active all of a sudden went into a ceasefire. Crime around the world went down because people were holding a vigil and they were starting to see a world where there is no hatred, there is no racism, there is no bigotry, there is no misogyny, there is no disharmony or discord or homelessness or hunger. There is a world where all needs are met for all people all the time. That's what we do. We hold into that field. Easier said than done sometimes. That's why you gotta finesse your blessing. If you are taking care of you, if you're keeping yourself clean on a regular basis, the other stuff becomes super easy. And if you need a little extra help, then you've got to lean into somebody that can hold the space for you. That's why we have prayer chaplains here. After service, you can go out and get a prayer. That's somebody who's going to hold the space for you. We also hold that space behind the scenes. Our prayer chaplains, we circulate messages all the time. Please hold so-and-so in prayer. And we're not like, oh God, I hope they get better. That's not prayer. Prayer is, I know where they are, wellness is, goodness is. Yes. And I can't tell you how many people come, you won't believe what happened. Oh yes, I will. I will believe it because I've been there. And I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I've been on the part where it's like, I've even been at the place where it's like, I don't want to pray. You go pray. I don't want to feel better. And then, you're like a little kid having a hissy fit, having a little tantrum. Get it out. But you've got to finesse the blessings. You've got to make sure that you move into a state of receptivity for your blessings. You've got to make sure that you can understand that the universe will pour out from the windows of heaven a blessing that you can't even store. Now that passage means when you commune with the divine, when you allow yourself to be open to blessings being the natural order of the universe, but what you're saying is, I'm going to attune, I'm going to align, I'm going to connect into that eternal vibration and not this temporal vibration where I've been victimized, I've been hurt or harmed in any way. I want to let go of that. No, I get it. Sometimes it seems like I'm just so justified, they wronged me. And it's like, no, what you want to do with that is you want to take it and you want to follow it. What am I really looking for in this? What am I really looking for? I'm looking for being heard. I'm looking for being seen. So bring back the curse and the hexes and things, there's no difference between the person who felt victimized in the parking lot and the person that thinks they're having a hex. If you think that if you're in a state of victimization, you're hexed. You're hexed by you. Nobody can hex you or curse you except you. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing. Now if somebody goes, ooh, I'm gonna do some voodoo on you, and I'm gonna on you, and you're like, okay, I'll be victimized by your voodoo. Now what do you think that's gonna look like? What's it gonna feel like? And it's like, you'll get boils and rashes. And we all know that the power of suggestion, what that can do. But the power of suggestion works only on your acceptance of it. So being a victim in any situation, so it took a while to undo this group consciousness, because when you are in a group consciousness, and that's what that was. So this region in this particular area, there was a lot of people that believed in curses and hexes. I can't tell you, I had no less than 24 people after I worked with the one lady come for curse and hex removal. And it was wonderful to see them step into their power. And it was really interesting to get into a place, because when I first heard, hex, curse, I don't know about that. But anyway, I knew where we were going, and it was really interesting to see there's no difference. What you believe is what you're going to experience. And we don't want to judge that. We want to know that it is in our quietness and in our confidence that we will find the divine, which means we're going to be still in the quietness and in a confidence that allows us to have a faith that surpasses human understanding, that we can commune with the divine on a regular basis to cultivate the expansion. So I'm not going to rain on anybody's parade, because, I remember somebody years ago, when I first came to Soul Center, they're like, oh, you're always saying you got to pray, you got to meditate, but is there anything else I can do? Well, there's different ways of doing it that can be much more fun. Because a lot of some people think, oh, meditate, oh, I got to sit here, no, whatever. No, you can, if you take an intention into your jog, and maybe you've got a mantra playing while you're jogging, there you go. You're meditating in the divine, you're exposing yourself to higher vibrations. If you're going to a spa and getting a massage, then make sure you go into the zone, go into a prayerful zone, and allow that to be not just a massage, but a spiritual experience that takes you deeper into prayer, into the unlimited potential and possibility to move beyond the predictable and get into the possible. The predictable, everybody does this to some degree. The predictable is, so-and-so's like this, so I can just expect it to be like that. And the possible is, no, I rebuke that so-and-so is like this, and I'm choosing to know so-and-so as a generous and kind person. I've done this more than I'm probably coming up on 100 times at least. Somebody who was in my life that back in the day you would have called an energy vampire, a Debbie Downer, who was always like, and after you were with them, you feel like, oh my God, I need to go to the spa, and I need to get rejuvenated. And then I was like, one day I was like, no, I'm not going to know them to be that way. I'm going to call them into the party, energetically, prayerfully. I'm going to invite them, which is what I did with the two in the parking lot. You bless them. Now, sometimes, like in this case, I don't know if I'll ever see the results of holding the space for them. The little glimpse I got was as soon as I started doing it for the one gentleman, his energy started to change a little bit. Some people say, oh, that was bound to happen anyway. But no, you can tell. When you get familiar with the subtle energies, when you get familiar with the eternal frequencies, you can see the energy go out. And it envelops people because we're all connected. There's no way to not be connected. We're all connected with each other. I remember, back before I did all this, I was in the advertising world, and specifically in political advertising. And this time of year right now, it was mayhem. We were getting commercials on the air, trying to get people to believe this about so-and-so and such. And one of the things that they would, you may or not be aware of, is that any commercial that aired on television and radio, which I'm assuming is still the case, had to be all fact fact-checked. It had to go through a legal experience to make sure that whatever the commercial message was, that it was true, that it wasn't filled with lies. Social media came along and changed things a little bit. However, then you started, I remember when the law came into effect, because some people were trying to say, twist things around and say like, oh, so-and-so is doing this. They would take their own message and try to make it seem like so-and-so was making that message. So they added this little thing that you may have heard, and I'm so-and-so, and I approve of this message. You see that on the commercials, political ads and stuff like that? Do you approve of your message? What message are you putting out into the world, and do you approve of it? And you want to look at the message you're putting out into the world. Am I putting out a message that I'm a victim? Am I putting out a message of perpetuating something that isn't good in my life? Am I putting out a message that you're bad and you're this and you're that? No, that's not the message. You don't approve of that message. You want to make sure you incline your ear and that you are listening to the still small voice and that you inform the world. The world does not inform you. That is where we got to flip it and we got to grip it. We got to make sure that we own that. That means you're not going to be pray, P-R-E-way, you're going to be P-R-A-Y in your approach to everything. Prayer isn't just something that we do once in a while. Prayer is a way of life. It is a way, it's a living energy. It is alive and it carries the vibration of blessings. That's what prayer does. It opens it is the portal from the finite to the infinite good. It is the portal between space-time and the eternal good of God. That's why we use it. It is what opens the pearly gates. When you are in 100% prayerful resonance, you are golden. There are people walking this earth right now that are in 100% of the meditative prayerful state, and they find a lot of humor. You will find a lot of mystics, and they are laughing their tushies off about all the things that people are going through, all the stuff that people argue about, make big deals about, not because they have no compassion, because it is really silly. It is silly. Now, we're not diminishing. We don't diminish how you feel about something when you're going through something. We meet you where you're at, and we lift. We lift affirmatively. We lift in benevolent and beautiful ways, and we lift in a way that works for you. We want you to thrive in your divine nature. That is our responsibility. As an Agape affiliate, that's what we do. We empower through, whether it's through soul circles where you can join in on a soul circle and get to know other people and have the prayer and the meditation, everything handed. Actually, you could use this service as a model for your daily life. You come into meditation. After meditation, we go into song. After song, we go into affirmations. After affirmations, we go into more song. Then we go into more of a message of truth. Sounds good to me. Let's do that on a regular basis. It's not just for Sunday. It's for really saying yes to your good. So we're all going to say, you know what, I'm not even going to ask. I'm going to tell. I don't usually tell people. You're going to finesse your blessings. You're going to receive your good. Yes. You're going to allow wellness and goodness and joy and prosperity and sacred holy relationships to have their way to, through, and as you. And you're going to allow self-love that is so profound that you see yourself and know yourself and love yourself as God sees, knows, and loves you, as your soul sees, knows, and loves you. You're going to allow yourself to be in the world, but not of the world. And I'm going to invite you now. Yes. Are we in agreement? Yes. All right. Are we in agreement? I want all those people online. Yes. Yes. We are shaking hands and saying yes to our good. All right. I think, is there anything else we can do? I don't know. I think we're good. Oh wait, no. What are we doing? We're doing prayer. Oh yes, we're doing prayer. All right. I'm going to invite you to join me as we tip and turn within. I'm going to invite you to be so benevolently vulnerable, which means you're going to open your heart all the way. Open your mind's eye, your inner ear, your crown. Open your gut. Open every part of your beingness to the holy light of God. To be benevolently vulnerable means I will allow the law of transmutation to finesse and caress and bless any wound, sadness, or hurt from any moment of any time to be transformed benevolently, gloriously. I open completely into this state of divine receptivity and acknowledging that there is one power and there is one presence back of all life that only seeks to beget good, only seeks to bless and caress. That is its nature. That is all it does. Just as the beams of sunshine caress the earth and allow photosynthesis in the plant's leaves to grow, the flowers to bloom, the fruit and the vegetables to blossom, just as the moon co-dances with the earth and allows the waves to crash, everything is alive. Even the grains of sand on the beach that we can walk on and allow it to move through our toes and feel the warmth, that is alive. Grains of sand are alive. Boulders are alive. Rivers are alive as water cascades down from the mountains over waterfalls into streams into the oceans. Everything interwoven, interconnected, just as we are interwoven and interconnected with the divine. Each of us a golden thread woven into the holy fabric of life. Each one of us a divine emanation. Nobody has been forsaken, nobody is separate, and everybody is imbued and endowed with everything necessary to thrive. It is woven into your genes and cells. You are born and wired with the ability to receive blessings, to bestow blessings, and to expand them. We say yes to more good and more joy that is authentic and pure, that we don't get distracted by temporal woes. We allow ourselves to be fully enveloped in divine glows. This is what we say yes to, even more than ever before. We say yes to being anchored, grounding heaven on earth, unwavered by the world of effects. And when we look out into the world, we assess it and bless it with goodness. We say yes to the only thing going viral is goodness, is joy, is peace, is love, is prosperity, is kindness, as all mouths fed and all bodies housed, and all people living from their authentic holy nature. I am grateful to speak this word, knowing in the beginning is the Word, and the Word is with God, and the Word is made flesh, and that is the Word that is infused with the energy of creation. Oh, how good it is to know that each of us is saying yes today, even more than ever before. In God, all things are made new. Infinite benevolent potentials and possibilities are mine now, right now. Sacred holy relationships are mine now. Divine right perception is mine right now. We choose to allow all of this and so much more to be, and we agree by saying, and so I let it be.
And so I let it be.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen.
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 Aho.
Aho.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Hotep.
Hotep.
Mahalo.
Mahalo.
And hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right.
Woo!
All right. We are getting ready for our tithing. This is where we participate in the law of circulation known as tithing. And the information is going to come up on the screen for those of you streaming in. That information includes the many ways that you can tithe. As the ushers come forward, we're grateful to have our volunteers, our beautiful angel ushers come forward. You can tithe by texting the word GIVE to area code 669-342-2157. You can also text by going to soulcenteroc.com. You can sign up for the newsletter while you're there, and you can hit on the donate button. All of this is safe and secure. You can go to Venmo. If you get our newsletter, you can use the QR code that's there to Venmo. You can also, under the business heading, go to Soul Center OC. You won't find it under the personal, and you can Venmo to Soul Center. You can also set up on these auto tithing if you want to. Those of you who do auto tithe, you'll often see people put little blue butterflies in the basket. That means they're on the auto tithe program. We appreciate that. You're always welcome to give more than that if you choose to. And I'm trying to think, is there any other way you can?
Cash.
Oh, cash. Whole hard cash for those of you who are here. And we really, truly appreciate that. We are saving for our new home after all the bills are paid and taken care of. So it has been visioned, and it is so. We're just letting space and time catch up with that. With that being said, I'm going to have the ushers go forward, and I'm going to have the brilliant and magnificent Jackie Lowe take it away.
So good. So good. The light of love wakes the giant inside to walk through closed doors with faith-filled eyes. Eagles spread in the wind, my eyes
But before we do, I have one announcement. Next week we fall back. So don't forget to remember that you're going to have to get here a little earlier next week. And
Later.
If
We fall back
Yeah,
in
you
easier.
get extra hours.
So it would be 10:30 right now. It'll be 10:30.
oh,
So we get
oh
an extra hour.
yeah, go with me. They're fall back, so enjoy. That means I'm going to flip my message. You have no reason. You have every reason to come in early. As a matter of fact, you have every reason to be here for meditation. All right. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to bless the offering. We're going to extend our heart, our hand, our prayers to our hand. Those of you at home, you're going to do the same thing. Get those hands up. Come on. All right. We're going to go ahead and we're going to remember that the all-giving, never withholding presence of God that only seeks to circle and cycle and expand good is right here. We take a moment of deep gratitude knowing something wonderful is taking place here today. Something wonderful continues to grow and glow itself to and through and as Soul Center, to and through and as each and every one of you. And we know that this offering is blessed. Just as it says on the promissory note, in God we trust. We trust in God. We know all needs are met individually and collectively. Why? Because we are finessing our blessings, and we bless it so. Just as the universe blesses, we bless. We bless this offering. We bless everyone and everything in our lives, and we allow it all to be good, and we allow it all to be now, retroactive, proactive, right here, right now, and so it is.
And
So it is.
All right. Oh, all right. We'll be here momentarily. So,
Perfect timing, we just came off the soccer field. Okay, but we have a little special thing we're gonna read to you. Abby's gonna read. You wanna start with that? Oh yeah, it's bigger. It's right there.
Okay. Every day I see how spirit shows its praise to use in the great dance of the universe. Spirit and nature spinning together throughout the cosmos to the music of the Om vibration.
Show your representation of some of that.
Okay, so I do the chakras
wow.
and the affirmation God got me from the very beginning. And then I drew like the names of all the chakras and like stuff on both sides. And then I drew the Okay, I just said a drill. I drew a person, and then like a figure, and then the hearts, and how everyone's connected.
Is that it? Anybody else? You want to share yours? Oh yeah, share your affirmation.
beauty, joy, harmony. These are the natural expressions of life. This is the natural expression of you, of me, of we. We have all chosen to go deeper and higher than ever before in the purity, the sanctity, the light, and the love of our true nature. Remembering what it means to be in the world but not of the world. Remembering what it means to be born in the image and likeness of God. Right where we are, always the kingdom of heaven is. Infinite benevolent potential, possibilities are. Right where we are, we have ignited a contagion here today. A contagion of goodness, a contagion of joy, a contagion of optimism and clarity and peace and prosperity and wellness. And we let it have its way to, through, and as our lives. We do so, claiming it so, grounding it so, knowing it with full